These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
She lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find a better man. She dreams in color, she dreams in red.
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome to episode 92 of America's Barley Basket. My name is Nathan Fulsabuck. Sitting next to me, physically, is Marlon Wells.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
I had braced myself for
Yeah,
that.
really a little bit of a build-up there, a pregnant pause, I believe that's called.
I was like, oh, how's he gonna come at this? But it was very civil.
Yeah, I think, I did nothing hot and didn't say anything inflammatory about you.
No.
No one was thrown under a bus.
No. And you didn't say it in a manner that made me uncomfortable or nothing.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Or maybe you're just desensitized.
Maybe that's it. Maybe, that could very well be the case.
Here we are. It's a beautiful day.
It is.
I mean, it's a little frosty outside.
Well, I mean,
the sun's shining.
yeah.
You know, it's not a hell. It's a hellscape. It's a hellscape. Looking outside, nothing has a leaf. There's no green.
It is absolutely.
Everything's covered in ice and snow, but the ice and snow is slowly receding.
Yeah, what I see out this window, it's just concrete and leafless trees.
By the time this podcast airs, it will be daylight savings. Sun's going to be out later. Life will be returning. Vitality will fill our bones yet again. These husks will fill with Lord's moisture. Is that what we're calling it now? And we're gonna spring forth.
It needs
full of viv and vigor.
It needs to hurry. The seasonal affective disorder has got to get shaken off these bones.
You gotta start tanning, bro.
I got so much rust calcium built up around my bones right now. Like, I'm just like a lot of stumbling out of that bedroom going, again, huh?
You gotta start doing that Coke Classic dip. Take a bath every morning and 10 2-liters, fill up the tub. Break that rust up.
Just like, once more into the breach.
Holy shit, that'd be a good thing for your building's handyman to walk in on you. You in the tub, hair slicked back and wet, just dumping a 2-liter of Coke over your head. It's cool. It's for my bone rust.
What a fucking mess to have to clean up. God damn it.
There's room for another. It's cool. It ain't gay, man. It's for health.
Don't be a nerd about this. Come on.
Just get in the tub.
Climb in. As if there's room for another human being in a bathtub when I'm already in it.
Holy shit. Peer pressuring another grown man into getting in the bath. Don't be weird, bro. Just get in the bathtub.
Come on. Why are you being weird about this?
Just get in the tub.
What's the matter with you? Just like bullying him?
Grow up. Grow up and get in this tub.
What, are you too good for it? You too good to get in a tub with a strange man?
Him going to the office to punch out and explaining that I was at the Wellington Place building in apartment 4C. I don't know. I almost got in. I don't know. Persuasive and kind of mean.
He almost gets in. Okay. Starts to unbutton his shirt. And then, no, what am I doing?
There's a big 5-quart pail of vanilla ice cream with a scooper. Does that motherfucker making Coke floats in the tub? Oh, ooh, it's chilly.
Good thing the Coke is so warm. Ugh.
Holy fuck. You fall asleep and waking up in a Coke float tub. I've done it this time. Oh, that foamy shit that forms with a float.
Yeah.
You look very distinguished. You can have like Frederick Douglass hair.
I don't know that I've ever had a Coke float.
No, it's the best. I'm a Coke guy. It's the best float.
I think I was always a root beer float kid.
That's tradition. But
I think that's the classic, yeah. I don't, and we've talked about before, I'm a Pepsi man. I'm not a Coke man.
Unfortunate, but I've dealt with it.
But like I can imagine in my head what it tastes like. So.
I've heard from people that growing up, they would have orange soda floats, which might actually be kind of tasty.
It's like an orange creamsicle,
yeah. I bet that's
which
tasty.
I don't care for, but I would try it. I'll try anything once. What other sodas can you pour on ice cream?
I'll try everything once, including taking a bath with my maintenance man. But yeah, out of the way, I don't want a Sprite float. That sounds like throw up.
Yeah.
That sounds like how you get sick.
That sounds like an old-timey drink that was probably real.
Yeah,
you
right?
could get that at the soda shop for a nickel.
Yeah, to cure you of something. Yeah.
They sold it as medicine.
Yeah,
Some snake oil salesman.
You got the croup? Just a Sprite float will cure what ails you.
Sprite and ice cream. That'll do it. Fucking ginger ale. Making a ginger ale float can't be good. I figure most dark sodas would work, though.
Yep.
Dark sodas and fruit sodas. Yeah, why not?
Dr. Pepper doesn't sound good, but I'm not a big...
Mountain Dew Code Red float.
That shit's so caustic, it probably just evaporate the ice cream.
That shit is fucking poison.
Yeah.
It's delicious, but it's poison.
I'm a Mountain Dew traditionalist. I don't want it very often, but when I do, I want just regular old Mountain Dew on crushed ice.
Huh. Like... I don't know that I've met a flavor of Mountain Dew I haven't liked yet.
No shit.
I haven't tried that new one, the lemonade one, because I don't like lemonade. The raspberry lemonade.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not a lemonade guy.
That's never something you want.
No.
It's very rare for me, but occasionally lemonade hits the spot.
And like I love lemon and lemon stuff, lemon squares, lemon heads. I'm into lemon, but there's something about lemonade that I'm
just
like,
the aid.
Yeah, I'm just give me the aid.
Yeah, you don't like it.
And like we were an iced tea family, not a lemonade family. So I'm an iced tea boy.
Yeah, we were a Kool-Aid family mostly, I would say.
We'd get some Kool-Aid every so often.
I never liked it. I'd rather have water.
Yeah.
The only Kool-Aid I liked would be the lemonade.
Weird.
Yep, a weird boy. Very weird boy.
I'm always saying.
Loved Tang. Never had Tang in the house. That was a grandma and grandpa thing.
Yeah.
Got to this day, a big glass of Tang, that hits the spot.
No, it doesn't.
What?
I don't know.
Man, something about, I don't want to drink a quart of Tang a day, but once every 6 months. I think, wasn't Tang originally conceived as a breakfast drink too?
I have no idea.
I think it was. Then they realized this is for children. This is
and astronauts.
Yeah,
I think it was NASA that had it first.
Yep.
Yeah, I like a lot of the fruit drinks. I either want water or juice, and it's this in between that am not a huge fan of. Other than Kool-Aid, and it's got to be grape. Grape is the canonical Kool-Aid color.
Man. A big can of Juicy Juice with like the pop top, the metal can.
Yeah, Juicy Juice.
Juicy Juice hits the spot.
Juicy Juice was like the worst juice as far as nutritionally.
But
Juicy Juice was like, this is just flat soda syrup is what this is.
I know if you got WIC, the government aid WIC, one of the things you could get was Juicy Juice.
Yep.
Because I always knew someone was paying with WIC when I'd see their cart and there'd be 10 cans of Juicy Juice. Because apparently there was enough fruit goop in that where it's considered a fruit serving, which that's troublesome.
That's insane.
Give your kid an orange. They don't need to be drinking quarts of goddamn Juicy Juice.
During the Reagan administration for the schools, they decided ketchup counted as a vegetable. So
insanity.
This is America. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
That should be, someone should run under that. This is America, whatever, fuck it.
Put it on the money.
Yeah. None of this, man. We're just printing as much as we can.
Yeah. Whatever, fuck it.
This is all going to collapse pretty soon. You know what's not going to collapse, Marlon? It's going strong.
It's The Simpsons.
It's The Simpsons.
It is The Simpsons. We're 21 seasons deep and no sign of stopping.
What are we in real time? We season 34?
I think 34.
Incredible.
Yeah. No, it's never going to end. This is the podcast that will never end, Nathan.
Yep. We're going to have to find replacements like Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons did.
Oh,
Kiss.
yeah. Yep.
So could have
call up Eric Carr to play drums.
We can get a VH1 reality show.
Where we find a new
podcast America's
host.
Next Top Podcaster.
Fuck, someone has written that on a whiteboard already.
Right? Yeah,
sure.
question mark behind it.
Yeah.
Give it 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Us disheveled, like on a balcony And like every once they pan up to us to ask what we think of the perspective. I think he seems sound like a nice boy. Oh, like just begging for death. Like, yet still trotting us out because our grandkids want to squeeze some more money from us.
Yeah, because they want another boat.
Yeah. I was so happy napping, and now here I am.
You made me put a shirt on and everything.
Stand up, clearly not wearing pants.
More juicy juice.
Yeah, they just fill us full of juice. Just big circles around our mouth like little kids.
You pull me out of my Coke bath for this?
Their handlers are touching up our faces.
We're doing 5 more episodes today. We're going to start with episode number 11, $1 Million Maybe.
Perhaps the second, if not third time, $1 Million Baby has been made into a Simpsons name.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was, I think, a repeat last week, too. The "O Brother, Where Bart Thou." I believe way earlier, was "Do Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Really?
Or so,
oh, shit.
Definitely the second time that one's been used as a pun title.
It's a title that lends itself to silliness.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The folks, the Simpsonses, are rehearsing for a wedding. They're going to give a toast, and they're going to sing "Tomato, Tomato, Let's Call the Whole Thing Off," whatever that song is. They're going to sing that as part of their toast. Then we go over to also pretty wholesome moment there at the piano with Homer and Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very. We're on a run of real wholesome Marge and Homer episodes.
Yeah. Then we go to the old folks' home. They're just staring at a staticky screen because they don't have the digital converter box.
Completely forgotten. Where there used to be like government-funded PSA advertisements.
They'd send you one.
January 1st, you must have your...
Yeah.
So like if you buy a big old tube TV at a yard sale, hook an antenna up to it, are you not going to get shit?
You need to run it through this box.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
When they all moved over to HD. And I think you could like send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the government and they'd send you one.
And nowadays, if you buy a tube TV, it just has one built in.
Well, I mean, you don't buy tube TVs.
Or I mean a flat screen.
Yeah, like internal antennas, and internal converter boxes. And if you buy an external antenna, it's one of those weird digital antennas. Always
like the flat, like it looks like it's rarely like a bunch of metal sticks. It's like a plastic square.
Yeah, I've seen the plastic squares. The first ones I saw were like a bat. They were like floppy and bat shaped.
Oh, really?
And like 18 inches across. I had a buddy who had one, and you would like, what we would do is put a piece of double-sided tape and stick it to the patio door. It was the only way we could get service on it.
A friend of mine explained to me why apartments around here get such bad TV service. It's the siding.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's why. Because if you live in a house, unless you're in a basement, which I am, if you live in the upper floor of a regular house, you get kick-ass TV reception.
Really?
But you live in an apartment complex. I don't know if they got goddamn lead in this siding. Like, something about it. That's my friend was explaining it to me. A lot of it went over my head. But it's like, okay, you seem confident. And I've lived in a lot of apartments. I never get TV. If I get on my roof, I can see the PBS fucking tower. It's downtown Fargo. I can never get PBS. And which is a weird thing to complain about, but PBS has got some good programming on every once in a while.
Reading Rainbow. Yeah.
Oh man, their news magazine show. I'm bad at names, but it's been on forever. It has some like the most hard hitting, like, oh my God, we're all gonna die.
Meet the Press?
Nope. It's Frontline.
Frontline. Okay.
They're putting, now plastic has AIDS. Fuck.
God damn it. No, I have so much plastic.
How my grapes are in plastic. I got grades.
Is that grape AIDS?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. There's going to be a GoFundMe for me with grape juice all over my mouth and my hands doing like, uh-oh. Nathan got grades.
Start a Kickstarter for Nathan's grades.
He's got to get on. I got to get on the grades cocktail.
It's not a death sentence anymore.
Yeah, good.
If you can afford it.
Yeah. So, because of that, please contribute.
So Lisa is like horrified that they don't have a digital converter, and she's like, well, I'll go get you one. She goes to, is it Circuit Circus, which is a great name for their fake Circuit City Best Buy. And she goes in there, and there's a kiosk set up. Mr. Burns is playing Wii. It's and I forget, this is about the right time, 2010. Yeah,
Wii explosion.
Yep, the most successful thing Nintendo's ever done, probably.
Yeah, it was huge.
Is the Nintendo Wii. And I like that. I think we've seen it before. Funtendo is the name of the of their fake Nintendo.
And is it the Z?
Yeah, ZII. Yeah. But it's the Wii, and Burns is enjoying himself playing. I think he's playing tennis, and then he's playing a shooting game, and he's confused. He's like, "Wait, I'm shooting at the Nazis."
Yeah,
that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's not how I remember it.
Right? Yeah, it's like. Burns, you served for the U.S. in World War One,
which is insane. Looking back, in World War One,
damn near 100 years after this episode, Lisa decides, like, you know, I could get them a digital converter box, or I could get them this thing, and they would enjoy that and be active. Around about the time, that's exactly what was happening in old folks' homes all over the world.
You think so? Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, like old folks' homes. Every old folks' home had a Nintendo Wii there for a while because it's super simple, and it gets them up and swinging their arms, and like this episode, this was the thing in this era.
I did not know, but. I had a Wii. I didn't play it a whole bunch, but you're right. Once it's set up, it's pretty simple to play.
Yeah,
a lot of point and click.
It's intuitive. You can hold that thing and go, okay, this is a tennis racket. I get it. Or like even the bowling, like you hold these buttons like you're gripping the ball and let go when you want to let go. Like it is very intuitive. Yeah. I'll give them that. They made a good product. So she gets them a Wii. We go back to Homer and Marge. Homer's at home, or at work, and he's talking about like, I can't wait to go do this thing with Marge. And Lenny goes, Homer's got a girlfriend, which I think is so funny. Like, yeah, his wife of 20 years. They have several children together, Lenny. I thought that was fun. They're all eating fortune cookies, and Homer's says that he's going to have a super lucky day, and he's like, whatever, fortune cookies aren't real. And then he officially slams into the candy machine, and it spits out all the candy, and he's like, maybe there's something to this. So he stops for a lotto ticket on the way home, on the way to the wedding where he and Marge are going to sing. He stops for a lotto ticket, even though he knows for sure that'll make him late.
Yeah.
And this goes on a long time of him being in the Quickie Mart.
I'm sure you might mention it coming up. He eventually gets bored and grabs a book of like how to learn Spanish off the rack.
Yeah.
Did you pause and take a look at what's on that rack?
I saw the Jose Canseco book that is on that rack.
If you look in the very back of it, there are a few copies of The Harpooned Heart, Marge's romance novel.
Oh,
I was
shit.
like, so wait, Marge still has a book in circulation?
That's funny. I didn't catch that.
And earlier when he's on his lucky streak, when he finds that Emerson, Lake and Palmer greatest hits and he's jamming out, what a lucky man he was. We haven't had Homer enjoying classic rock in a while.
Yep.
And that was a common trope early on.
Early on, yeah. He was very much a classic rock fella. And, like, I totally... Like, that song felt like it fit.
Yep.
Like, Homer would be into this garbage.
Yeah.
Is that a theremin solo that's in that
Is that
song?
what that is?
I think that's what that fucking instrument is.
There's all that pompous, like, prog, rocky type shit of that era. Like, well, one thing maybe about it is it just doesn't fit. Actually, if he's as old as he should be in 2010, he wouldn't be into Emerson, Lake and Palmer because he would have been 8 years old when that came out, you know? Like,
yeah. I don't know. I think just keep him listening to classic rock.
Think so. Let's say in today's episodes, how he'd be 36, let's say, give or take. That's how old Homer's supposed to be.
Yeah, probably.
He should be listening to Korn or early emo. Like, he should be a big Fall Out Boy fan or something. Like, that's so wild to think of, you know? Like,
Or yeah, I could see it because I'm 36.
Yeah.
So what was I listening to as a kid that was new music at the time? It was fucking new metal.
Yeah, that doesn't fit. Homer listens to fucking Grand Funk Railroad. He listens to Supertramp. Like,
I like the idea of Homer being super into Korn.
Holy shit. That's crazy, man. Time is a cruel, relentless beast.
It waits for none of us. So he's waiting in line for a lotto ticket. Like you said, at some point he gets so bored he starts reading a book that is Teach Yourself Spanish, just so he can, like, he just talks about his day with Bumblebee guy who's there. One of the books on that shelf is I Was Right, But I'm a Jerk by Jose Canseco, which is fun. So now we cut to Marge. She's alone at the wedding, just singing her parts of the duet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Rather than doing the whole song on her own, she's just going, I say tomato, I say potato. Like, she's just doing her parts to it, which is fun.
When she calls Bart up in a panic.
Makes him, like, tell a knock-knock joke.
Bart, I don't know what joke you're referring to.
Yeah, like, he has to lead, but he doesn't know it. Yeah, it's just a train wreck. Homer finally gets his lotto ticket, and he's in the car trying to race to get there and wrecks the shit out of that car.
That's a pretty amazing car wreck. He basically takes it off of a mountain.
Yep, just drives it straight off a mountain, and then wakes up in the hospital. And he's laying there, and he sees on the TV Kent Brockman being like, yeah, somebody won the lottery last night, and no one's come forth to claim it yet, so we're waiting on the mystery person, and these were the numbers. And in his head, he's like, oh my God, I won the lottery. Yeah. And at the same time, Marge is like, I was so mad at you for not being there, but I guess it's me who owes you an apology. And he's going, but I can't, because then she'll be mad. Which is the crux of the whole episode from here.
And it's also even like time stamped. It was sold at 7:07 p.m. at the Cookie Mart.
Yep. And if Marge knew I was there instead of where I was supposed to be, she'd be pissed. So he has Barney claim it. And then Barney, like, gives him his share, which after tax is like $640,000, and he stuffs it in a tree for safekeeping. Yeah. I don't know that this is a cartoon thing, I don't know that I've ever seen a tree with a hole in it. Like, I could hide something in here.
At least not at, like, arm level. I've seen trees that like hollowed out lower, if that makes sense. Must be an animal probably did it or something.
I've never, because that's classic cartoon shit. That's where the owl lives, but I've never seen that.
Perfect 5-foot high little hole.
Yeah, you just reach in and hide your shit.
Because my head, what burrows that low? Because I think that's what a lot of holes are formed by, is a tree that's dying, and an animal will hollow out the base of it a little bit to have a little party spot.
No idea. I always thought it was supposed to be a natural occurrence in a tree, and I was like,
a burl?
Yeah. Yep, just like a knot, like an empty knot. I don't know. I don't know anything about trees. So he has Barney claim the money. He takes his and stuffs it in the tree, and his idea is that he's just going to buy what he needs and have the family find it.
Stumble upon it.
Yeah, so like they need a new washing machine. So he buys one, stashes it in the bushes in the park, and then they're walking along and they find it. And we get a long montage of this, of him like buying stuff on the sly. A few good sight gags in there. I think my favorite being Marge like gets out of her car and it goes into the car wash, and when it comes back out the other side, it's full of stuff, like blenders and a panini press and shit.
I know Lisa, her saxophone's playing weird, and she reaches into like the horn part of it.
Yeah.
There's 2 concert tickets in it.
Yeah, to the Philharmonic. Like, so there's some fun visual gags in there. It's a lot of like, you gotta accept that this is the plot of this episode if you're gonna hang with it. Meanwhile, at the old folks' home, they're enjoying the shit out of the Wii. They're enjoying that a lot.
Kind of heartwarming.
Yeah.
Seeing them having fun with it.
Yeah, they're
good for them.
Swinging fucking tennis racket. Abe is good at it. Yeah. He seems to be the king of the Nintendo. We get that buying stuff montage, and then Bart busts him, like digging money out of the tree.
Yeah, because he's in this tree house.
Yeah. And encourages him to just enjoy himself. Like, what are you doing, man? I'll show you. I'll show you how to live for yourself. So Homer goes along with this. Very first thing he decides to do is have a private Coldplay concert at the arena. It's just him and Bart.
Yeah. That's like $100,000.
Yeah. And I like as soon as he starts to sing, Chris Martin starts to sing, Bart is just like, oh, hang on, I got to go to the bathroom, and makes him stop. Yeah, that was a fun, dumb thing. Chris Martin playing himself.
They end up taking one of those like zero gravity flights.
Yep.
That's something.
Vomit comet.
If you got fuck you money, you can do that.
You can do anything with fuck you money, but I think you can. Yeah.
But no, I mean, would you?
Oh.
If you had fuck you money.
Sure, why not?
That would appeal to me.
Yeah,
I'd like to know
fun.
what zero gravity feels like.
Yeah, like that. Like, I don't care for roller coasters and that kind of thing, but like that's so different,
so wild,
and so once in a lifetime that I would want to.
That's such a trippy thing to imagine.
I bet I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I bet I would be like panicky and weird. Like, oh, I don't like this. Like, you ever have somebody pick you up? It sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
been a minute.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
I used to kind of like when I was like a teenager. The friends of mine that were strong enough to come up and be able to pick me up and crack my back.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, the couple of times as an adult where I've been picked up off the ground, I'm like, I don't like how this feels.
My back cracking sounds like a fucking redwood getting hit with a space shuttle. It's very violent because it doesn't happen very often.
A lot of bone rust.
Yeah, that's a ton of rust.
Gotta get some coke on them bones. Back at the old folks' home, they're all enjoying their Nintendo and they're feeling super good, and they're like, oh, they call to the nurse. I like that they treat the nurse kind of like a bartender, like more of your finest waters in your paper cups. And now they're like asking for things.
Yeah.
Like now they have life in them.
Like, my roommate's move my roommate out. He's been dead for weeks.
That's so fucked up. And the nurses are clearly perturbed about this. While we're on the vomit comet, Bart blackmails Homer. Like, you best keep the money flowing or I'm going to fucking tell Mom.
It just treats Homer as poorly as you can imagine.
Yep. He's... Yeah, being just a shithouse, just an absolute dirtbag to poor Homer.
So think about like, oh, you have a project due tomorrow. Why? Like Homer's helping me with that.
I didn't agree to that. And, well, Mom, Bart sucks.
What time do I got to be there? 8 a.m. Like, what is he has to dress up like a Cro-Magnon man?
Yep, and as a Neanderthal and be part of his project.
And it's very demeaning. Right when you think it's over, Mrs. Krabappel, if Cro-Magnon man does a breakdance, do I get extra credit? Her response, I don't see why not.
And he does. Homer busts out a pretty decent breakdance, which is fun. One of the things of Bart exploiting Homer is he makes him pull him in a fucking rickshaw. Which, boy, a rickshaw... That's got to be fucking miserable work to be a rickshaw driver. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, I think so. There's one in Fargo.
What?
They're downtown rickshaw. I think it's called downtown rickshaw.
You and I
Holy shit.
should go to the rickshaw.
That dude calmly yet firmly sticks an open hand out in front of us and says, listen, the rates I have listed on the back of this rickshaw do not include guys like you. We're going to hash out a price and go from there. Yeah, if you're downtown on a Friday or Saturday night, you'll see that rickshaw bebopping down the road.
No kidding.
Yep.
You and I think that's content. We should film that.
Yeah.
You and I just riding in a rickshaw. Pulled by 140-pound 22-year-old.
Just eating some like decadent food like Roman emperors.
Exactly. Full hedonism.
Yeah.
Just one of us feeding the other grapes.
Bring me to the auditorium.
To the bathhouse.
Carry me in.
There's not a bathhouse.
It's just like the city aquifer. Just roll us down a man-made cement lake. Beautiful.
Homer, that's where he's had enough. I like that the rickshaw has a fucking horse collar on it. That's very funny. He's had enough, and he's like, well, And Bart, of course, being shitty, well, I'm going to tell Mom. And he goes, not if I do first. And Homer takes off. And Milhouse jumps in excitedly to be the rickshaw driver.
Yeah, of course.
And he goes, just because I'm your friend, Bart, don't be afraid to whip me. Jesus, Milhouse. At the old folks' home, the nurses have destroyed the Nintendo Wii in the dishwasher.
Yeah. That's such an awesome thing to do.
Run a fucking video game console through the dishwasher. Just fuck these nurses.
Yep.
These nurses are dicks.
Couple of lazy bones.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm sorry that we made the worst job ever easier. Like, they just want the old folks dumb and pacified. Just let them stare at the static.
Yeah.
Because if they get blood moving, then they want things. It's like, God, you're the fucking worst.
And we can't have that.
Yeah. So the next time we see Homer, he and Marge are up in a hot air balloon. I don't know that I would ever ride in a hot air balloon. That's, oof. I would go on the vomit comet way before I would go in a fucking hot air balloon.
I mean, I do both, but I wouldn't spend money to do a hot air balloon.
It just seems lame.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm up here now.
Yeah. I would enjoy a little bit. Oh, look, all the shit we can see with that. But I would tire of it quickly.
I wonder what the price difference is between riding in a hot air balloon and taking a helicopter ride. Because if it's close enough, spend the money and get a helicopter ride.
It's funny, growing up, every once in a while, like, you'd get up in the morning and you'd go outside and there'd be a ton of fucking hot air balloons, because there's like a hot air balloon convention at the International Peace Gardens. So it's like either the most colorful army has invaded us or it's Peace Gardens hot air balloon week. Just thinking about how weird of a childhood thing that was, that just seemed normal because it happened every year. Like, oh yeah, there'd be like, it wasn't like I had friends as kids got a chance to ride in a hot air balloon because of that.
Huh.
Yeah. Like, so, hey, if you're up at the Peace Gardens, you get a hot air balloon ride, you know, like.
I don't think I've ever seen a hot air balloon.
Yeah, I have seen 10 in the sky at once before. It's weird to think of now. Like, I would be alarmed if they all came across the skyline right now.
Oh,
yeah, like,
fuck.
oh shit.
Yeah, get out of here.
Oh, look, weirdos. We gotta get out. We could probably outrun them on foot.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you and I, but regular shape people. Yeah. Kurt Braunholer has an amazing bit about hot air balloons on, I think, his album Trust Me. It's super fucking funny. Good story, Marlon.
Yep. So, check it out.
Put a link in the show notes or something. Anyway.
The Simpsons.
Doing real good. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up about hot air balloons. Hot air balloons were around, like, in the fucking 1860s and 1880s. Shit. Like, can you fucking imagine being one of those lunatics?
Yeah, like, they thought you were a god.
Or, like, just because they had to have given regular folk rides every so often just for funsies. Can you imagine being some Civil War veteran cowboy just getting in this basket and hoping for the best?
I hope there were. I know they used Zeppelins in World War II, but I hope little hot air balloons were used in war back then. Just like I hope they're just dropping bricks on the sides of it.
Just firing with a pistol at the ground. Yeah.
I know in World War I, planes were so rudimentary. There were planes that just would fly lowly. Well, all planes flew low back then, and just throw lit sticks of dynamite out of the pilot with light sticks of dynamite. Like your uncle cracks a Bud Light while steering with his knees. You know,
you're not supposed to text and drive. Yeah. You're gonna fly and throw dynamite. Yeah.
How often did it had to happen? You fumble that stick.
Whoop.
It goes under the seat.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
And you disintegrate.
That's got to be the most gutting feeling.
Yep.
You just hear it thunk. You hear it hit the floor.
Yeah. What are the odds of you fishing it out of there while keeping a plane?
Reaching down under your seat. Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh fuck! No!
Mondays.
Mondays. Am I right? Wah, wah. You shrug at a camera that's not there. holding up a sign that says "Whoopsie Doodle," like fucking Wile E. Coyote.
Or you turn into a big sucker. Yeah.
Welcome to Two Boys Who Think Cartoons Are Real.
Yeah. The other one was you turn into a big donkey. That was always a common one, too.
That was a classic. So they're up in this hot air balloon, and Homer's like, while we're surrounded by the apology or the forgivingness of nature, let me tell you what I did. And he explains to her. I love that he's barely into the story. Like, when I was supposed to be there helping you give that toast, I bought a lottery ticket instead and I won $1 million. And she immediately is like, okay, fuck that toast.
You won $1 million.
Yeah. Which of course that's what she's gonna think, Homer, you dummy. And then he has to explain, but I bought all the nice things for the family, and then I didn't know you could rent a hot air balloon, implying that he bought this hot air balloon. Awesome. So they're right back where they started. They don't have any money. But he did buy them nice things and did fun stuff with the money, and then he flies over a fucking cherry blossom orchard where he's planted them in the shape of Marge's face. And they have their balloon smooch. Nice wholesome ending. And we're out the door.
Very wholesome ending.
Very sweet Homer and Marge content in this one.
Homer won $1 million. At the end of the day, they have a new washing machine. Is that about the only tangible?
Press and some,
that's true. Some kitchen gizmos.
Pissed away a lot of it, but they got a few things they needed, I guess.
An egg timer,
a Ronco rotisserie oven.
Set it and forget it. Up to episode number 12. Boy Meets Curl. Tonight's date night in the Simpson household for Marge and Homer. Homer's like at work, getting ready at work, which is a curious thing.
I guess the date is after work, maybe. So he brought his blazer.
But date night is ran into the ground because there's some kind of emergency at the power plant, which that's plausible at a power plant.
Sure. Burns needs them to find a leak. It's somewhere in this room, and it's just a giant room full of pipes.
And he's like, hey, I think these guys can handle it or someone else can handle it. I got a date night. He's like, well, you got to stay here because it's date night for Mr. Burns, too. And when they wheel in his date, it says that Princess Wilhelmina of Prussia. And she lets out a groan because she's older than him somehow.
And Prussia hasn't been a country in fucking, 200 years?
Since pre-World War I, I would say.
Oh, my God.
And it's when he leans over to Homer. It's, tonight's the night I pop the question, where's the Kaiser's gold? So good.
More Burns, God damn it.
Right?
Every time he's on screen, he's gold. If I was going to get a Simpsons tattoo of any one character, it'd be Mr. Burns.
Oh, get that painting of him, of his nude form.
Oh, God.
That'd be a good tattoo.
That'd be an okay tattoo.
So Marge is stuck at home wondering what's going on, and she's just whiling away the time by watching The Real Housewives of Shelbyville.
2010, this would have been it. We're getting a lot of these lately. A lot of like, oh, yeah, that would have been about the time.
You ever delve in any of those shows?
I've never seen a frame.
Yep, never.
I can't imagine myself liking it.
Yep, never one of those, like, it's so bad, it's entertaining. Like, I know a lot of people like 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah,
because,
never.
That's something you got to have a significant other, I think. They drag you into it, and then you find something you can laugh at with it.
That's, from what I understand, that's why you watch those shows, is to laugh at other people's train wreck lives.
Like, can you believe this shit?
Although, like, I think every person I know who likes those shows, the Housewives, the 90 Day Fiancés, all of those, even the people who say they like it, hate it. Yeah. They're like, yeah, I watch it because it's awful. It's trash. It's
the
like,
worst thing.
It's like, okay.
It's the worst thing ever.
You could read a book.
Yeah.
But like, I have trouble, I've brought this up before with horror movies. I have trouble embracing it's so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's came up before.
You know what I mean? Like camp. I don't respond to camp very well. Yeah, I have trouble being like, oh, this is so bad, isn't it great? It's like, no, this is.
Oh, see, I
you love a train wreck.
Yep. But it has to be really bad. Like some bad stuff's just boring. Some low budget stuff's just boring.
Yeah.
They don't got money for anything. But something like the real, like Troll 2, man.
I've never seen Troll 2.
Troll 2
yeah.
is out of its fucking mind. It's like, and then you hear the backstory. Like the kid that started it was like probably my age, and they were naive enough. They thought that he was in the new Gremlins. Oh, I'm going to be the star of the next big phenomenon, because it's not like a gory, scary horror movie. Not really, at least.
Okay.
Like. But and then like his dad also like they lived in Utah. They weren't like fucking Hollywood people. Like, oh, this is exciting. This is a big movie.
We're gonna be stars.
And he talked about being like 10 or 11 years old, sitting next to his dad in the theater, and just looking up at his dad with just a shocked disbelief. And then he was just like, "This isn't gonna be the new Gremlins, is it, Dad?" And so he's like, my dad, like. Yeah, we're going to forget about this. you're going to start 5th grade in the fall. No one has to know about this. Like, it's insane. Like it's hard. Like a movie it's how did a human being write this? That's the kind of thing I like. It's like,
is it worse than The Room? That's like a bad movie people love, at least ironically.
Yeah, they're both. It's hard to say worse. It's like, is Van Gogh a better painter than Jackson Pollock?
Just a different flavor is
yeah,
all.
It's a different level of incompetence and insane. Like, because The Room is so insane because it's one man's insane narcissism who had the means to make his own movie
somehow, and like no one knows.
Yeah,
no one knows where Tommy Wiseau came from.
Whereas with Troll 2, it was a shitty little studio hired I think it's like a married couple that didn't speak English to direct it, and it's very clear that they don't understand the English language or American culture. It's so fucking crazy.
Maybe I'll have to make
the
room
worst
for that one.
premise ever. It's about people that are trolls who have to turn people that they capture into plants because they're vegetarians.
Why don't they just eat plants?
Why don't they eat the plants that surround them in the fucking forest they live in, Marlon?
Yeah, why don't... Okay, all right.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe I got to see this piece of shit.
You have to like somehow do mental calisthenics beforehand because you can sprain your brain. Like, I wasn't ready the first time I think I had to take a fucking PTO day after it the first time. It was like, I would just be sitting at work thinking about it. Like, yeah, like, the fuck they eat the plants? They're surrounded by plants. They're literally in a forest while they're turning someone into a tree that they're going to eat. Why don't you eat another tree? This is so many steps here. Like, insane.
Some Sunday when I don't have a lot going on and I'm a little hungover. Maybe I should give that a whirl.
You're figuring out the right formula.
When I'm a little numbed already, you know, I'm a little deadened.
Or you get home from a show or a bar, you got a little bit of a beer buzz, throw that on.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's either a drunk or hungover.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Either you're feeling the effects or the after effects of alcohol.
Usually in a hangover, I need something that I can latch onto to keep me from thinking about the pain.
Yeah.
So maybe not a hangover movie.
Once it gets cooking, as long as you can ride out until the first 10 minutes until it gets cuckoo bananas, then you'll be in for a treat.
Just me curled up, sipping a grape Pedialyte, watching Troll 2.
I'm dumb, not this dumb.
Laying under my Ninja Turtles quilt.
Yeah.
Just,
I've made mistakes, but not this big.
This is so bad.
My sides hurt.
Pedialyte, take the tequila away.
You just drop your Pedialyte into the carpet.
Oh no!
I goofed.
I wish the pizza would get here. Man, so many of my Sundays in my 20s were spent exactly that way. Laying on the couch, watching bad television, waiting for pizza.
Oh, really? Delivery pizza like the day after, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You need garbage.
Yeah.
Like, garbage food is hangover food. So, like, it's fucking a large pizza and some wings and sipping great Pedialyte.
We would often force ourselves to get out of the house. And if it was Sunday, force ourselves to go somewhere and eat chicken wings, or force yourself to like Perkins and eat like a big breakfast meal the next day.
No, not me.
Yeah.
I couldn't move. Like, we had 2 couches in our apartment where most of my 20s took place, and me and my roommate both would bring out a sheet and lay it on it was like you had guests coming over to sleep on the couch. Like, make a couch bed, like get the sheets tucked in nice on the couch and the quilt and pillows, and we would lay there and we would order deep dish pizza and wings from Green Mill and lay there all fucking day drinking Pedialyte.
Just sweating through a couch.
Yeah, just trying not to die. Occasionally, like fog napping, just like fall asleep with a piece of deep dish in your hand.
That drunk sleep that you're somehow more tired when you wake up.
Yeah, drunk sleep isn't real sleep. It doesn't count.
There's a guy in my hometown that when he'd wake up like that, when you wake up too early, like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna get good sleep again. He would get up, trot out to the living room, a house he shared with a buddy of mine. If he had like a half a loaf of white bread, he would literally make 13 bologna sandwiches, put them back in the bread bag, and bring the bread bag into bed with him. And just lie on his twin bed, this giant man in a beat-up twin bed, and eat bologna sandwiches and sweat. I think maybe he had a little tube TV to watch football.
Oh God, making sandwiches and putting them back in the bread bag is some poor folks shit. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times did he roll over in a nap and squish those Sammies?
He ate those Sammies though.
Eating some sweat Sammies later in the day.
Oh, these are getting damp in this bag. Put them on the nightstand.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Nightstand.
You're right. Sorry to be so bougie.
You push up enough dirty clothes to make the approximate shape of a nightstand. It ain't gonna be flat on top. You're gonna be real careful.
Sorry to assume a grown man would have a nightstand.
Yeah, or maybe they drank enough Bud Light bottles that those boxes could serve as a nightstand.
Fuck, beer box furniture.
Yeah. So Homer does get home. It's very late, but by God, he's determined they're going to make date night work. They try a few different things. They go to a movie, but everyone's talking.
Yeah, everyone's shitty in this movie theater.
They do one other thing, and that doesn't work out for them. And they end, the skating rink. They're going to go skating, but open skating's closed.
Yeah.
It turns out there's curling practice going on, and they go over and they watch. We see Mrs. Grandma's or Mom Skinner and Seymour curling. There might be some other just no names on the ice.
Yeah, just some other townsfolks.
Yep. And then Homer, and someone calls either Homer or Marge over to give it a try, and they sort of mess around with it, and they seem to like it. And then Homer all of a sudden just gives this big impassioned speech about curling, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And when fucking Marge excitedly goes, "This is what you're like when you don't drink." And they really take to it. To the point they are invited onto the competitive team with, again, Mom Skinner and Seymour. And then you can Mrs. Skinner, obviously, surprise to no one, real competitive asshole.
Oh, who'd have thought?
Yeah, right.
Just like Mrs. Skinner's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, real prick.
Who'd have thought?
And she talks about how she's so competitive because she had dreams of getting a gold medal as a pole vaulter. But she got knocked out when she met an army guy, and she's at the Helsinki Olympics, and she's doing her pole vault, even though she's like 8.5 months pregnant. And as she's jumping over the bar, a prenatal Skinner kicks, and that is enough to just nick the bar, and it falls off. Yeah. So that's
why she's been such a piece of shit to him all these years.
When he's like, "You're right, mother," that the way he describes that prenatal embryonic kick was very uncalled for.
Yeah.
And also pole vaulting, crazy that's still a thing.
Yeah.
How has that not got sued out of school existence? You know what I mean? Because at least in the late 90s, most high schools, if you had a track team, you had a pole vaulter.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a track team, but I don't think we even had throwers on our track team. It was just runners.
No shit. Yeah.
Which, looking back, if I could have done an activity in junior high or high school, and I wish I could go back and do it, I think I would like the throwing events in a track and field. That was always
when we had track and field day. That was always the one thing I would do. I know I'd get a place, and then I wouldn't have to worry about getting forced into another event because they made you do something. I just go out there, do my shot put, get third, that's good enough for me, and then get left alone.
We had so few kids that every kid had to participate in every event. So, like...
That sounds traumatic.
And we didn't... Now that I think about it, we didn't have shot puts. We did the softball throw.
Yeah.
But you had to stand in the circle and put it to your chin.
Oh, really?
And throw it like as if we pretend shot putted. That's how poor my school was.
In our grade school days, like middle school, we did shot put and softball toss. You just stood behind like the goal line in the football field, and that you couldn't go over that.
Okay.
You had to run and just see how far you could throw a softball. Yeah. Nope. That's awesome. You guys pretending because that's not the ideal way to throw a softball.
No, it's fucking not.
No, yeah, we did got the big old...
damn it. Every once in a while, something flares up in my mind where it's like, I didn't go to a real school.
What are the other throwing events? You can do discus.
Javelin, hammer.
The hammer's with the thing on the chain, right? You spin
where you spin around.
Yeah.
That looks rad.
Yeah. I don't know if we had that or not. I know we had a high school level. I mean, not that I competed, but I just remember kids doing it. I'm pretty sure there was javelin, shot put, discus, and those three, I think, at the high school level.
You think it's too late for either of us to start throwing sports and get into the... Okay.
No, I mean...
All right, never mind.
I mean, anyone can do it. Go to the park and throw a goddamn fucking anything around.
Go down to the Frisbee golf course down here and start hucking a hammer weight around.
Yeah. Jesus, you could murder someone that way. That'd be manslaughter. You didn't mean to.
Right.
Yeah. They just walked in front of your hammer. Yeah.
First offense, slap on the wrist.
Can't you have fucking walking into someone swinging that hammer? Christ. You would fucking be laid out for weeks.
Honestly, you see a man my size spinning around that fast with a thing on a chain and you still walk into me, that's on you.
They're playing Candy Crush. They don't know what's going on.
These goddamn kids on their phones.
It's the MTV is who I blame.
The pole vault in the Olympics is one I like because it's such a, the original Olympic Games were all based around war.
Yeah, launch you over a wall.
Yeah, so javelin, shot put, all the wrestling, all those things are warlike, and that's where pole vaulting comes from, is to get over a creek or get over a small body of water or a wall. That's you could never get rid of the pole vault.
I can't imagine being physically fit enough to jump over one hurdle.
No,
you watch competitive hurdles. Imagine having the coordination to run, jump over something that's 3 feet high, land, and keep running
without breaking stride.
Yeah, I mean, a young me could have ran and dived head first and maybe cleared it, but I would have been in pain. I'd have been laying on asphalt. But I don't get it, man. That's insane to me.
In my youth, at my peak physical condition, I could not jump over a hurdle. There's no way. No way.
Yeah, nope.
I've never known a day in my life where I could get over a hurdle.
Yeah. And land and keep running, because that's what you do.
Right.
You run, jump, run, jump. And you don't even slow down, man. How is that possible?
No.
That's just a coordination that my bones have never had. My body doesn't work as a team enough to do that,
right. Odds are I couldn't jump over a hurdle if you cut it in half.
And
if it were twice as close to the ground as it already is, there's odds are I can't jump over that. I'm not a jumper.
I bet too there are kids when you're junior high and everyone's figuring out what they're good at. There are kids that are good runners, but they figure out early on these kids are klutzes.
Yeah,
they ain't got what it takes to be a hurdler.
Yeah,
but that's a specialized trait that not everyone has.
No, I ain't got it.
So the Marge and Homer are there. I think they're at we figure out how good Marge is. She's doing the brooming aspect of it because Marge sweeps a lot, so. Obviously, she's good at the sweeping aspect of curling. And she basically does a great job and gets them to beat their regional so they get to go be one of the teams representing America in the Olympics.
In the for real Olympics, yeah.
So now the Simpsons are going to the 2010 Winter Olympics. Finland? Vancouver, okay.
Because we get a ton of Canadian jokes in the opening ceremonies.
Yep.
We release our version of the doves, the beavers.
Yeah. And they just start destroying everything. This was entirely preventable.
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, they represent America in the 2010 Olympics. Skinner's mom, quickly we find out, we see this coming, wants to cut Homer, which she's in the right.
Yep.
He's dead fucking weight. But Marge refuses, believing she can make up for his poor stone throwing, if that pushing or whatever they call it, with her incredible brooming skills. We're at the semifinals, so you win this, you get to go into the gold medal round. Homer completely whiffs, but she somehow brooms. She's like brooming through like the fucking hallways to get this goddamn stone to do a fucking full circle back onto the playing surface and gets them the gold. Or doesn't get them the gold, gets them to the gold medal game. But because she had to work so goddamn hard, she throws her shoulder out of whack. And now it's like, well, if we don't have Marge, we're sunk.
Yep, we're done.
That's kind of the story now. And it's discussed. I think, is it Homer that notices that she does something with her left hand?
She's furiously packing. She's so mad. And she's like got her righty in a sling. And just with her left hand, she's folding clothes and shit. She changes Maggie with one hand.
And Homer's like, "You're really good with your left hand." She's like, "Oh, I'm left-handed."
Oh, yeah, I'm left-handed.
I don't want to do anything that makes me stick out.
Unbelievable.
So great.
So fucking funny.
So on brand.
Yeah. You ever get self-conscious about your left-handed?
Oh, no, I mean for Marge.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's exactly what she was. Nah, I've never. I mean, it's a pain in the ass of some shit. But like, no. But you're not left-handed, are you?
No, fuck no. Yeah, I'm a normal person.
Raised better than that.
Yeah, I'm a regular boy, not like you.
Went to church.
My left hand may as well be a hook. My left hand is fucking useless.
See, I am that way. I'm a very lefty too.
Yeah.
I struggle to do anything right-handed. Like,
I have a buddy who's right-handed and shoots pool left-handed, and he's pretty good, and I think that's crazy.
Yeah. My brother is left-handed, throws a ball left-handed, writes left-handed, always swung a bat right-handed. Which seems weird to me. And isn't a switch hitter. Like, he can't do it lefty. He just...
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. Isn't it, though? Yeah. Like, funny how shit like that works out.
Because I'm thinking of myself. If I were to try to bat left-handed, like, I may as well sit down.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. I've as a kid, because that's the thing people do is they're switch hitters. They can hit from both sides of the plate. I've tried. None of it feels natural. Like... If you took all the people off the baseball diamond, had someone underhanding, I could maybe make good enough contact that it would roll into the grass. And that would take a long time. Like, the idea of taking good looking cuts up there is baffling to me.
No idea how people do it. And ambidextrous people, you might as well be superheroes.
Yeah, or they're the devil. I mean, there was a time they drowned ambidextrous people because they're some kind of witch or warlock.
Burn her!
Yeah. Just because someone like sneezed and caught it with the other hand, like the devil is in her. So now they've. It looks like they're just going to concede to the Swedes because the Swedes were they were supposed to go up against.
Yeah.
And we ain't got enough people. Skinner's going to sign the paperwork. But nope, Marge steps in, got her right arm in a sling, but by God, she's going to broom her ass off with her left hand. And that's what she does. Homer, his throw ain't good. It isn't laughably bad, but it's
not great.
Yeah, because it comes to a complete. He's short this time.
Yep.
And she's able to whittle the ice down enough to make it continue sliding.
Yeah, Bob Costas is like, she's trying to restart a puck or whatever. And she does.
Which is, bonkers. But I mean, it made for good TV.
Yeah. And
she does, and they end up winning Talk about Simpsons getting out of bounds. The Simpsons have gold medals. Simpsons have gold medals.
Gold medal curlers. And so do the Skinners.
Yep. And we have a moment where Mrs. Skinner's actually nice to Seymour. Like, hey, she was finally not a competitive prick for once in her life. And the B story, boy, this is definitely a small B story.
Very, yeah. It doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Because it doesn't start until they get to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And that's where Lisa develops a crippling Olympic pin addiction.
Yeah.
But I know that is a thing that people like to collect Olympic
pins.
That is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And there's like a real shady pin purveyor that gets her hooked. The dope man.
Yeah.
So she gets
dope man.
To the point at one time she's like playing sax, trying to scrounge together a few coins to to get some more pins. And Bart sees it, like he's like, "Hey, are you all right?" And like he kind of opens her winter coat, and he's like, "Your dress is covered in pins." Like, there's no dress; it's all pins.
It's all pins.
Look how comfortable that would be. And he notices she gave up her pearls.
Yeah, she trades her pearls.
I almost forgot that Lisa has that. It's such a part of her look.
Yeah,
you
you don't even notice them.
Yeah, and then he finds the shady pin purveyor, and I don't know, he really cons him. He just has like a collect. But where's that pin?
He made his own fake pin out of Homer's ID.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, and is like, well, fine. You don't want to give me the pearls. I guess I won't give you this
limited
super
edition.
rare Russian Olympic pin.
Yeah.
And the guy buys it and gives Bart the pearls.
Yeah, and then Lisa gets her pearls back. How Homer and Marge have gold medals. Pretty much the end. Then we get that oddball credits where it's Homer like figure skating with the one of the Olympic.
It's the mascot that Bart made up.
Yeah,
like
which
the
is
fake
just
mascot.
A blob with a straight mouth and 2 dots for eyes. Yeah. So yeah, I got a kick out of that.
As somebody who collects enamel pins, it takes an effort to not just buy 1,000 pins.
Yeah.
So I got it from Lisa. I was like,
I'm with you.
I get it, girl. I don't have the Olympic bug like you do, but
You ever traded your pearls?
No, I never traded my pearls. No.
You with a big gaudy choker pearl necklace would be good.
Live that life.
Is that real?
Because in the they look like ping pong balls.
Yeah.
They're so big.
Yeah, that would be worth more than their house if it was real. Those pearls would be on the news.
Yeah.
But good episode. So far, I'm not getting the laughs that I got out of the last match, but I'm putting this a step above the very first 5.
Yep, I'm with you there. I got a couple on that one. We run into the old medicine woman from the movie.
Oh,
briefly in Vancouver.
Put 2 and 2 together.
We see her
though.
real briefly, and they do a little weird number.
Yeah.
Fucking Skinner has a line when he shows up at the house to tell them they get to go to the Olympics. He knocks on the door, and Bart's like, "What the hell, man? Like, you can't be here. It's outside school hours." Skinner walks in and goes, "My cargo pants indicate that I'm not here on school business. I'm here on cool business."
Yeah. Oh my God, that was good.
As a fan of cargo pants, I was like, hell yeah, you're here on cool business.
I don't know if I've ever owned a pair of cargo pants.
What?
Yep.
Live.
Yep.
Cargo shorts?
I don't think so.
What?
If I go short, it's all basketball.
Man.
Like, yeah, I think I might have bought a pair one time, like online in the early aughts, and they were like way too short for me. And they just
and you just held it against them ever
well,
since?
no, I mean like that, but like no, that was just like, oh, I fucked up. These aren't the right, they don't fit, and I've never bought another pair. I am not inherently against. I was just jeans or nothing for so long.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
As a youth, like way back when.
And now, I've never but as you see, I'm kind of wearing a dress slack right now. These aren't jeans, but I've never made. Well, a cargo pant is basically the same fabric as a dress pant, right?
Or maybe a little more canvasy, like, a little stiffer, a little more substantial fabric. But, like, I also have cargo shorts that are made of, like, slack material. They're probably called something else. They're probably not called cargo shorts, but...
Cargo short. What indicates a cargo short? Just extra pockets?
Side pockets.
Side pockets?
Yeah. Cargo.
See, have you ever used the cargo pockets?
All the time.
What are you, fucking tater tots?
Throw your fucking phone in there, whatever you want.
Man. But I have my phone on me all the time. I would put them in the same pocket I do with my jeans.
I'm a chest pocket man with my phone.
Yeah,
so if I'm wearing shorts, maybe I'm not wearing something that has chest pockets.
How many times have you been popping a squat somewhere and you lean forward as you sit down on the toilet and it falls out of the pocket of your dress shirt?
It's happened, but it's pretty rare.
Yep.
It's
to the point
rare.
that I'm cognizant of it. I make sure I kind of keep my posture upright. I don't like a phone in a public bathroom floor. I'm a dirt dog, and even that makes me blanch.
Most of my chest pocket mishaps come from when I am rarely wearing a shirt that doesn't have chest pockets. I'll go to put my phone in it and just drop my phone from chest height.
You're not often just a t-shirt guy, are you?
No, I like buttons.
But it's, do you ever just wear a t-shirt?
Pretty rarely, but it does happen.
Yeah. Always been that way?
Nah, but it came about somewhere in adulthood for sure.
I had a job briefly where I had to wear a collared shirt. Or I think I found out later it wasn't even enforced. But that got me in the habit. I much would rather have a dress, like a button shirt.
Yep.
Like,
even if I leave it open over a t-shirt, odds are that's how I'm dressing.
I'm even that way if I'm doing like outside work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, which at one point would sound, if you would have told me that when I was 18, you're out of your mind. That's too stuffy. But when I got the dress shirt or anything, you can unbutton it. You can have 2 or 3 buttons open if you're hotter and shit. Mm-hmm. Or, you got something old, cut the sleeves off. That's good outside working material.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I was always a sleeveless if I'm working. Like,
yeah.
Like I prefer a sleeveless period, like fucking wearing, and at some point I just combined the two. Right now I'm wearing a button-down sleeveless shirt, which I wear all the time.
Gotta wear long sleeves though when you're moving bales. Well, you guys probably weren't fucking with square bales. You didn't have to worry about it.
No, not really.
Jesus Christ, this podcast.
But even if I were, I'd still wear a sleeveless shirt. Like,
ooh, I don't think you would.
Scuff them up. I don't care.
Eat your arms alive.
I don't fucking care. I've thrown square bales around with no sleeves on. Like,
I don't know.
You're a fragile boy.
Yeah,
it's not.
I think you're underestimating. Where is this going?
What are we doing?
It's like we always want to add more and more variables, so we make sure we get to a topic that no one listening has any frame of reference for. That's not true. I know 2 guys right now that'll probably say, "Yeah, you should wear long sleeves if you're."
You should, yeah, for sure. You're not wrong, and they will eat you up.
And you get shit under your skin sometimes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's part of life, dog. You're gonna get stuff under you.
Yeah. I think you were underestimating, but God damn it, that's for our Square Bale podcast on the Patreon. Square Tails.
There's another good line in this episode I really love where Lisa finally breaks down and asks Bart for help to get her pearls back. She says, "Without my pearls, I'm just a big Maggie."
Yeah, that was good.
Super fucking funny.
It adds up, too. It's like, right, yeah, they do look a lot alike.
Yeah, just the same.
Is their hair the same, too? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking, does one have a tilt to their triangles? But nope, they're straight triangles.
Yeah, they're all the same. Episode 13 is The Color Yellow. I was immediately, when I turned this one on, just like, oh boy, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
How spicy is this going to get? You ever see The Color Purple?
I never have.
I don't think I have either.
It's a hard movie to want to, like, from what I know of it, it's not, like, fun. Like it's a drama.
What? It's not?
Yeah. Like, so it's like, you really got to be in the mood for that kind of movie.
Yeah. Much like a lot of, like, I bet it's not
like
fun.
The English Patient.
Right. Or or any movie that's going to make you feel shitty.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to throw on Schindler's List.
Yep.
Like, yeah, let's watch.
And I love a good a good depressing movie, but like, yeah, it's just, it has to be planned out. Yeah. I'm not going to spontaneously, fuck, I'm going to just rent Color Purple at 4:30 a.m. See what this feels like.
I'm bored. Let's do Amistad. Yeah.
Never seen it.
It's great. It's horrible, and it's great.
And that's a Spielberg movie, one of the few of that era that I didn't see.
Got Anthony Hopkins in
I'm
there.
on a run now. I haven't seen a Spielberg movie in a while. Never saw Lincoln. Never saw that Ready Player One. He's done a bunch of shit I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Spielberg flick in a long time. So this is The Color Yellow. Willie is pulling out a stump. He destroys another tractor. I like that he has a pile of dead tractors because he can't get the stump out of the ground. Finally, he decides to use TNT, and the stump flies out and lands on Skinner's Kia, destroying Skinner's car.
As this show progresses, it'll be fun to see all the different sad cars he's owned.
Yeah.
He's owned a Yugo. Now he owns a Kia.
He had a Yugo like 3 episodes ago.
I'm trying to think. He had some kind of really basement bargain bin Toyota at one time, I think. So yeah. A lot of hatchbacks.
Yeah.
He's a hatchback man.
Lisa, in her class, they're going to be doing family trees, and she's all excited. I'm going to find out about our ancestors and see what kind of fun we have in the Simpson history. And then learns that the Simpsons are all horrible. Yeah. They're all criminals and murderers.
Degenerates.
Yeah, they're all shitty.
Yeah. And then at one point, it's like... Or you can also do a story on like Al and whatever Simpson. You may better know them as like Phil and Rita Rosenberg, whatever, like those 1950s secret agents that gave nuclear secrets to the Russians.
Yep.
So are they implying that they're Simpsons too?
Yeah. Like they used those fake names to give secrets to the Russians. Yeah.
Going back to the beginning of this, of the family, holy shit, is Miss Hoover out to lunch?
Yes.
She makes Krabappel look like teacher of the year.
She is extremely fucking
that
checked
is
out.
a woman that regrets decisions she made.
That fucking, when she opens her planner and it's just like, to be determined.
It's like 6 weeks down the road, there's a film strip.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the one thing she has planned out.
Unbelievable. She has nothing. She has nothing going on.
I wonder if you understand like the beats you got to hit through the semester if you're the English teacher. I wonder how much ad-libbing you can do. You know,
just jazz.
Yeah, you go out. You guys go out to play trivia, and they have half-price Long Island teas, and you go a little too hard. Can you kind of just we're just gonna play this one by ear.
Yeah. Read the next 3 chapters.
Yep, right?
I'll even give you the class.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it at home.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
go ahead.
Which I always
quietly.
loved. Like,
oh yeah,
give us some time. And the whole thing was, you can just make sure you fuck around within reason. You can don't get loud. You can bullshit with your friend, but like just don't ruin this, because when a kid would ruin it. That was like, okay, I guess you guys can't sit still and read. Let's fire up the overhead projector. Dude's like, no.
Yep.
It was so close.
Buckle in, shitheads. We're learning about prepositional phrases.
You like gerunds? I hope so. You could put a gun to my mother's head and ask me to describe a gerund.
I couldn't.
I would have to apologize to her.
I love English. It was my strongest subject, and
so
I couldn't
much
tell
of
you
that
what a
prepositional,
gerund is.
yeah, like some of the possessive verbs and shit. Like,
ugh.
Yeah, like I forgot. Like I just glazed over. Like, I bet if like as soon as the teacher started talking, if you were in my brain, you would slowly hear the NBA on NBC. All of a sudden, it's Clyde Drexler dunk, and now I'm like into it. Just watching, not even like real footage, like Nintendo 6 or Super Nintendo, like EA Sports, like pixelated dunking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, nice pass, John Stockton. Oh, Nathan, did you have something to add? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Good work, Mrs. Brandt.
Yep, under the log or whatever this prepositional phrase is. Yep, got it.
We're doing it.
For me, it was always the thing that always threw me off so bad was tenses. Like if the teacher stood at the front of the room and said the phrase future perfect participle, I would just gently shit my pants. Just
fucking participles.
Just sit in my desk going, oh no. Oh.
Holy fuck. I haven't thought of any of that shit. I have a bachelor's degree in English. None of that. I don't remember any of it.
It never came up again. Yeah.
Holy. What is this present part? Are you sure? I don't know. We're all talking. We're all talking. We got it figured out.
Which of these sentences is future and which is future perfect? It's like, oh my God.
And I'm sure in your school it wasn't anything different. 10% of this class is illiterate.
Yeah.
How about we deal with that?
10% of this class is like chewing on the edge of their desk. What are you doing?
Richie literally hasn't read a word since he was 7. He just retired from reading. Like, makes his head hurt and he's done.
80% of this class can't spell participle.
That was one thing. I mean, I did not do well in school, but one thing in our like junior high or junior year English, they also made you take vocabulary tests as part of it. Like, every Friday is a vocabulary test. I would never study for it. I knock it out of the park. Then I realized that's not something that everyone just has that comes naturally to them. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that being a boy that read books paid off. That like I knew the words, and I'd watch friends of mine who did just as well, if not far better, in other subjects, just eating shit. It was like, oh, this is the one thing what a fucking useless thing in the world of capitalism. You know words good, shithead. That'll get you a job.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. Same with like basic grammar rules. Like, oh, you know where a semicolon goes? Good. Dig this ditch, you fuck.
Yeah. Fucking yeah. Go cook my goddamn McGriddle, you sack of shit. Is there a semicolon in that sentence, you twat?
No, there's not.
Yeah, I wish I could correct you, but you're actually correct.
Was that the sausage or the bacon McGriddle? Yeah.
Both.
Okay. So Lisa finds out that all the Simpsons are awful, and she goes up to the attic to try to find. She's determined. There's got to be one good Simpson.
On the subject of the attic, maybe you're going to hit on this. This is one of those times where they do a great job. They throw so many references.
Yeah.
All sorts of shit. One that I'm hoping you might be able to shed some light on. And it's featured prominently, so it must mean something. As she climbs up the steps into the attic, one of the first things we see is a "I didn't do it" t-shirt.
Yeah.
What is that calling out to again?
That was an old episode where Bart like said that on TV, and he and his catchphrase are a huge phenomenon, and they make t-shirts. Lisa gives that lecture in the living room about like, yeah, they moved on to the next thing. You can't just rely on a catchphrase. And then everyone says their catchphrase because everyone's in the living room.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's old.
That's like season 2 or something. That's ancient.
That's like at the very beginning of when it got good.
Yeah.
Good.
That was
pull.
them making fun of themselves and their own success.
Like, meteoric rise.
Like Bart even like does a cover song of MC Hammer's "You Can't Touch This," but it's "I Didn't Do It."
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. That season 3, if not season fucking 2.
Yeah. I didn't pause in this bit, but yeah, the entire attic is full of old Simpsons references.
Yeah, the war totem is now
the war
upstairs?
totem's in the attic.
Aren't you moving that from the fucking basement?
Fuck that! How'd you get that up them pole stairs? Them ceiling stairs? Come on.
Another thing I had a question. There's an outfit. It's like homemade armor that Homer wore in an episode, where there's like a pitchfork coming up to protect his face. What is he fighting that he needs that? Is it a bear? I can't think of what.
Bear seems right.
I can't think of the premise of that episode.
Neither can I. Yeah, I didn't see that it was in here. I saw like his astronaut suit from when he went to space, the war totem,
his Grammy. His Grammy.
Oh, yep. His Grammy's there. The Mr. Plow jacket is there.
Yep. Marge's picture or painting of Ringo Starr.
Ringo, that's there. Yeah, there's
the sexy calendar, which is a fairly recent
that's
thing.
Pretty recent one. That got relegated to the attic pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a fun shot of her walking through the attic through all these Simpsons references.
I love the little, or when like Marge opens a cupboard and there's a bunch of random shit. Yeah.
I don't like that they moved the war totem. That lives in the basement.
That's a basement thing. That's lazy writing.
Yeah.
Plenty of other callback things you can put up there.
So she finds this chest and finds Eliza Simpson's diary, who was a ancestor of theirs, and she's reading it at the kitchen table, and it turns out that Eliza was part of the Underground Railroad, freeing slaves in the olden times. And Homer doesn't want her to keep reading and takes the book away because you're bound to be disappointed. There's no way that a Simpson was wholly good. So, nope.
If something goes in the vent, it should stay in the vent.
Yeah, he puts it in the vent and says that line, and then it cuts to the vent. There's like IRS final notices and MRI results that are labeled urgent in the fucking vent. And Lisa gets it out of there by blowing a fan in the vent in her room. That's not how vents work.
Not a bit.
And it comes flying out of the fucking vent. But she gets the book back, and we cut back to the Civil War times where we're at Colonel Burns's plantation ball. And Lisa, I did like the bit where he's Colonel Burns is mad about the waltz and that it's in 3/4 and music should be in 4/4. God damn it.
He demands.
Yeah. And so his whatever old timey Smithers goes over there and demands they do it in 4/4 time. And
it was off-putting.
Yeah. I didn't like how it felt.
Nope.
Like it sounds so wrong. And people start falling down as they're dancing. That was fun. Eliza sneaks out the back and meets Virgil, who's a slave, and helps him escape. And then they're being chased by slave hunters and dogs. And then the story just ends there because the rest of the book is made of dust. Yep. So she doesn't know how the story ends. Marge is going to help her out. They go to the library, and they don't find anything about Eliza, but they find a cookbook written by Mabel, who is Eliza's mom.
It's basically a Marge clone.
Yeah, and she flips through it and finds a recipe that comes with a story, and it's about the day Eliza brought a freed slave home. And so we get to finish the rest of the story. While they're running from the slave hunters, they came across a circus, and there's a Krusty there. Yeah. And he puts Virgil in clown makeup, so they're able to escape the slave hunter. And then back at home, is it Hiram? Is that the name of the Homer?
Yep.
He wants to throw Virgil out, but Virgil is like, oh, please let me stay. And in the meantime, he invents donuts, essentially. Yeah. Like his cake wheels or whatever he calls them. And Hiram loves him, so he doesn't kick him out. And Lisa loves the story, wraps it up, goes and gives her presentation at school to a huge fucking ovation. And then Milhouse has sour news for Lisa because he found an ancestor's journal and tells the rest of the story where Colonel Burns had come looking for Virgil, and Hiram and Eliza sold him out. Yeah. And we're just like, yeah, he's in the fucking shed. And Colonel Burns, there's a moment where it's a throwaway joke. Mr. Burns is here and says offhandedly that Colonel Burns is his dad. Yeah.
Think of that.
Think of how old Mr. Burns is for an old man in the Civil War to be your dad. Like everyone else is like great. No, not Mr. Burns. That's his dad.
So Burns is 140 years old.
God damn it, that's funny. Yeah. Lisa, can't believe this, so she goes to the library, finds an old-timey, from the 50s or 40s interview with Eliza where she expresses regret for selling out Hiram, or Virgil, and Lisa's bummed out because that confirms that, yeah, Eliza did that shit. That's fucked up. And then I forget who has the actual story? Oh, it's Abe. Abe has the actual story of what happened here. They did sell her out, or sell Virgil out, and then we flash back to the slave escape where Mabel is the one who runs off Burns with a shotgun and gets Virgil out of there, and then Mabel and Virgil run away to Canada where they get married and live happily ever after, and the Simpsons are all descendants from Virgil, not Hiram.
Which doesn't really make sense, right? Because wouldn't Eliza have already been born?
Yeah, but she's the only one. So they're not descendants of Eliza's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so Eliza would be a half sister.
There we go.
Right? Or a half, whatever you call it when you're 8 generations removed. Yeah, whatever.
A half aunt.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the story of that. And there's a fun joke where Lisa goes, "Why would you guys hide that?" And Abe goes, "Well, old people, we're all a little and he stumbles, and Lisa goes, "Racist?" And he's just like, that's the one.
Yeah. I like how broken up Lisa was about having a bunch of animals on her family. I could come from nothing but cannibals.
Maybe that matters to an 8-year-old.
Yeah, maybe we brains different. At this point in life, Jesus.
I could see Lisa caring about it for sure, but I certainly wouldn't. Yeah. If I found out tomorrow that my my grandpa's grandpa was a fucking milk thief.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's part of it. Like, is also like, I'm just on a big nationalism. Like, I'm not proud of being Norwegian heritage. Like,
yeah, you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if like, oh yeah, everything was wrong. Actually, great grandpa John was actually from Germany. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like these countries. I mean, if it was something oddball, actually, you're Tanzanian. What?
Oh, get out of here.
But it's like, what's, yeah, I just don't get any, like being like Irish and getting off on, I mean, if you're in Ireland, cool. But if you're 1/16 Irish and your last name is fucking Kibblestead and you look like me, you're not Irish, bro. You had a great grandma that was.
Right.
Jesus, chill the fuck out. Like,
it's like I'm curious to know, but I wouldn't care about.
Yeah.
Like I want to know just to know.
Yeah.
But I'm not like fucking fucking
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I got a little Prussian in there. Like nobody cares.
1/8 Welsh. That's the stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love Wales.
I hope Wales is winning all their wars.
Yeah, like some people care. I don't. I would like to know. I would like to do one of those ancestry family trees and just see.
Oh, I mean, I find it curious, but yeah, again, did you know that, all of your great grandparents and his brothers and sisters, helped kill a bunch of kids in an orphanage? I don't give a fuck. That's fucked up.
Fucked up. Yeah.
But like, I would be just as interested in knowing about it if they were related to me or not.
Yeah.
Like,
if there was something in there fucked up, I would acknowledge that it's fucked up, but I wouldn't be broken about it. Oh, Marlon, turns out your great uncle invented the N-word. I'd be like, Jesus, really? Fuck. I guess somebody had to. Anyway.
His brain was shaped like a fucking rotten peach. Like they were barely
he was
human.
5'2" and the biggest guy in the village. Like, come on.
He lost his last tooth at the age of 12. These are monsters. They're little monster people.
Yeah. I would be curious just for the fun of it.
We're up to episode 14, Postcards from the Wedge. Postcards from the Edge, I think, is a movie I have never seen.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea.
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. So I ain't got no interesting insights. That's all I know. Just bits and pieces. I think it's maybe this. I don't know, though.
I think it's a movie.
Could be a book.
Anyway.
Maybe a song.
Good story, Nathan.
Yeah, right. Fascinating. Bart was supposed to have completed a Hopi Indian Pueblo for his homework.
What an insane project.
Yeah. But she does mention he's had months to prepare for this. Has he prepared for it, though, Marlon?
No.
He has not. That's nothing.
Kudos for him to trying to slap it together with whatever he's got in his
like
desk.
Apple core and this and that.
Like, tape and a couple of pencils.
I forgot about being a kid and having a desk that was your desk. Mm-hmm. If you lifted it up,
and it was full of shit.
Yeah. So for us, grades K or 1 through 3, you were always in one classroom and you had your desk. Grades 4, 5, and 6, you had a homeroom with a desk, but you moved. You still moved. So like, you had to trust that the son of a bitch that sat in your desk wasn't going to take anything of value. Because they could just lift it up and see what you had in there, too.
Fuck, that seems
right,
awfully trusting.
Because we didn't have lockers. We just had, like, wooden, like, little galleys where you could hang a coat.
Oh, yeah, like a coat room, yeah.
So, like, that's the only place you had to put anything. So that's the first time I was ever supposed to get in a fight was because a kid stole my clicker pencil. A pencil, so space age, Marlon. You didn't have to click it with your thumb. You shook it, and the lead would come out. A mechanical pencil, you just shake it, like click, 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 and like you wouldn't even have to use your thumb.
That doesn't sound useful at all.
Marlon, once you get it in your hand, you feel the weight of a finely made crafted pen. You get one shake. Oh, man. I'm sure there were old West cowboys. I got to use my thumb for the double act, like, nope. We moved on to a brand new day, boys.
I don't know if it's spicy or not, but I prefer a fucking wood pencil to a mechanical pencil any day.
Yeah, I remember there was a time a clicker pencil was like a status symbol when I was like 4th, 5th grade. Yeah. But I remember just thinking, like I could just as easily sharpen a number 2 and go to town with that,
Yeah.
Like,
the only advantage to a mechanical pencil is it travels a little better if you're carrying it in your pocket or
you
something.
Can't break a lead. Yeah.
Right.
You can't break it.
Stick yourself with a pencil.
When I was a kid that drew a lot, I kind of liked a mechanical just because I would just get in, you get into this writing or the drawing zone. All of a sudden, you're drawing with a super dull pencil. It's like, oh, this doesn't look as good.
Yeah, but then you just go sharpen it.
Yeah, that's true. I want that exact edge. I was a master.
You take that walk up to the pencil sharpener mounted on the wall of the classroom and rum.
I remember like when I was looking at houses back in the day, when you'd be in a basement, you'd see that pencil sharpener bolted on like the door frame.
Yeah.
There's some old man, that was his woodworking room. Got to have a pencil if you're working with wood, you know? Like,
got to keep it sharp.
Yeah. The fuck do you go to buy a pencil sharpener? You can buy one at Walmart.
Probably.
Think so?
I don't know about a good metal bolted onto the wall one, but
you're right. You can definitely buy a zip mechanical one.
Sure.
But I wonder if like a bolt on the wall. Remember there was like the gauge you could. Who are these people using oddball pencils?
Big fatty pencils? Yeah.
Who are these people?
No idea.
They're a little thin, dainty one. Like, what's going on here? There's one pencil.
Yeah.
If your pencil doesn't fit, throw it away.
You got the wrong pencil.
Yeah, you fucked up.
You fucked up.
Get a goddamn God-fearing American pencil.
I have 2 now that I think about it. 2 manual pencil sharpeners
really?
that you stick in and turn. Yeah.
One for the bedroom, one for the car?
Yeah, one for the bathroom. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You can't do your crosswords in pen. I gotta be able to erase.
I'm a believer in a pencil, so I have a box of pencils and 2 pencil sharpeners in this apartment.
That is awesome. I mean, awesome's not the right word, but it's interesting.
You could have let me have that. Yeah. You didn't have to change it, and you did.
You know what?
You chose to.
You know what? This podcast is all about truth. Oh. This is where we're seekers of the light.
That's true. We are seekers of the light.
We are not gonna. I think we've improved as men because of this podcast. So then, also before I go on, because of course Bart did not have anything, and he got in trouble for it. Martin, meanwhile, knocked it out of the park.
Insane.
He had a Hopi Indian Pueblo presentation with moving parts and different character pieces, story arcs. It was incredible.
Like hidden pieces that rise in and out of it as he turns these little cranks. And the part of the presentation was, and then hundreds of years in the future, a boy will give a presentation and he turns a crank and it's him
he
with
rises
an even
up.
Smaller version of his diorama.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And then you look at the other kids. They have what you'd expect.
Yeah.
It's a flipped over shoebox with some doors and windows cut into it. You know, some tan construction paper taped to it. So, but by God, they did it. That's what matters at that age.
Pueblos make for pretty easy arts and crafts projects.
Yeah, right.
Everything's tan and square.
Yeah. She wasn't asking a whole lot.
Yeah.
And even so, Bart did not deliver. Krabappel's pretty pissed about all this, and she writes a letter to Marge and Homer, basically saying, your kid hasn't done homework in like a month, which, Jesus Christ, send this kid to a remedial school.
A month?
Yeah.
Can you imagine going a month letting your homework back up?
I also, at that age, I couldn't even imagine having homework. I never had homework when I was 10.
What?
Yeah, just do it all in school, baby.
Fuck, we had homework all the time.
Yeah, we never did. That was more of like a 6th, 7th, 8th onward.
Huh.
Remember junior high being the biggest homework? I'm sure there was homework in high school. I just never did it. At that age, I just checked out.
What different paths we took to get to this living room.
Yeah. I decided to major in party, bro. Having a good time. So now Bart is trying to figure it out, and this is something I did as a high schooler. How do I get home to get the letter out of the mail before they can get it? One time I was successful. Ooh, that's a fruit that tastes pretty sweet.
Oh, I'll bet.
Pulling that letter out, looking at it. See me immediately. Nope. Rip it up out the window.
But like, surely there's a follow-up coming, right?
It's just midterms. That's just the thing. Like, hey, this is. I mean, if I was truly a monster kid, I probably would. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a phone call, probably. But like,
sure.
Hey, your kid ain't doing good. Give me a call. And then that though, they ain't gonna. You know, these teachers are overworked. They ain't got.
I mean, that's true.
They ain't got the time to be.
I never once had to race home to beat a letter that I didn't want my parents to read. I was a good boy. Always have been.
What's the worst grade? Did you ever get any C's?
No, not K through 12. No way.
That's wild.
No.
But also sometimes those small schools, those small high schools, they were just a fucking a goddamn 3.5 diploma mill too.
They
were there kids failing out like.
We had a kid drop out when he was 16.
Like were there kids that had bad grades? You think?
Yeah,
or like
there were kids that were failing subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know. Like with some super small schools, it's so small that it's like they will come to you. Hey, why can't you do this?
Oh yeah, like I don't think anyone ever failed out of school or anything.
Yeah.
But like everyone graduated for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fucking small school. If somebody fails a test, the teacher just goes and talks to them.
Oh, so yeah, like we were big enough that was. Yeah.
Like the teacher to student ratio is obnoxious. Everyone should have been a genius coming out of there.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, like, it's way harder to fall through the cracks the smaller your school or town is.
Sure.
Like, I was thinking, we discussed this. That's why you don't skip school. What am I going to do? Either sit on the farm, or if not, I get a ride into town. We're going to fuck around in town. People know who we are.
Right.
There's so few of us. They know we should be in school.
Like, of the 16 of us when we graduated high school, like, there was probably 4 or 5 of us that were 3.8 and above.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking...
Yeah, that's a hell of a batting average. A quarter of the class is a 3.8 or above.
It's real easy.
Yeah. So Bart does like a classic Bart thing, pretends to be sick.
Yeah.
He rubs his ear, which is an interesting move to make. Oh, I'm feeling. She just feels his ear. And then it's
puts
like,
the thermometer in there, so it's like the ear is hot because he was rubbing it. I guess I don't know how much science there is to this.
And there's only one way to get a true measurement. There's an anal thermometer.
Yeah.
And Lisa just gets a big, because Lisa's witnessing all of this. And Lisa's like, oh, there you go, have fun with that. And then Marge comes out. It's like, well, that's for sure. He's sick.
Yeah.
And Lisa's like, well, how did you? She's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Meaning you assume he was ready for this and was back there just furiously rubbing his asshole, right?
Yeah. Jesus. That's commitment to the game.
You gotta want it.
Yeah.
You gotta want to stay home.
At that point, it's easier to make a Hopi Pueblo.
Yeah. You could have just done the homework.
So he's at home, but yet still doesn't. Homer beats him by milliseconds to the mail. He gets the letter. Homer flips out, and now it's Marge is aware. Now everything's out in the open. And this is where we get kind of like, that's interesting. Homer, in my opinion, far better parent in this case. He's actually setting a boundary.
Yeah.
He's being a hard ass because the kid deserves, he fucking ain't doing any homework.
For a month.
Yeah.
And then tried to get in front of it and like be sneaky about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Homer's like, hey, you're going to do this. And then Marge, because she's a softie, like, oh, this is just too much. And just Bart quickly realized, oh, I can play upon this. Every time Mom comes in, I just make it seem like I'm exhausted or just at my wit's end. And then he's like, hey, Lisa's also involved. Like, you ever notice that like Mom and Dad's like, they're not on the same page on this? It's like, well, yeah, like, what is it like? In politics, that's what's known as a wedge issue. It separates, it divides, and the fucking light bulb goes off on Bart's head. And he plays them against each other.
Yeah. Oh, you think I could exploit that? Like, yeah. Bart's a real shit ass in this episode.
I think this is a very common thing in parenting. You got to make sure you're a united front.
Yeah.
You can't have the kids. Well, Mom said or Dad said.
It's a roundabout here. We get that insane scene with Homer in the dishwasher, where he has a dirty plate and he opens the dishwasher and the dishes are clean. And he's like, well, I can either unload this and he chops up a carrot and throws it in the dishwasher and like sprays ketchup in there, dirties up the clean dishes, and then puts his dirty dish in there and closes it.
I would pistol whip someone if I caught them doing that.
And then Marge comes in like, oh, thanks for loading the dishwasher. He goes, yeah, no problem. You unload it when it's done. Okay. Like, Jesus, Homer.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, definitely. If that sums up Homer so well. Like, just, heaven forbid you bend at the waist for 45 seconds.
Unbelievable.
And unload a dishwasher.
What a piece of shit.
So they are the feuding about Bart escalates where Homer thinks Marge is too easy on him, and Marge conversely thinks Homer's too hard on him. So then they finally have a big screaming fight, and then now there's animosity. Now they're in a fight. And like a day or two, they wake up, they won't address each other, this or that. And Bart's loving it because now they're just busy fighting, and he's just kind of still not doing his homework.
Yeah.
And then it finally comes to a point where they both just kind of realize, oh, I don't like this. I don't like being mad at Marge. Or I don't like being mad at Homer. So Homer leaves work to go meet Marge. Marge can't even take it. She goes to find him, and they meet on the street, and they hug.
Yeah.
And the cops show up. And like they put some flares down, boys. We might be here a while. And the fucking Wiggum hugs them. It's just like he just gets in on it too. Yeah.
What the fuck is Wiggum's day?
Yeah. So now those two are back. They're better than ever. And the result of this is that Homer just doesn't give a shit. They realize Bart played them and like, okay, whatever you want to do, dude, we're done.
And worrying about Bart's well-being is not worth costing them their marriage.
Yeah, it's pointless. Yeah. And at one point, it's like there's one kid that we worry about. It's like, Lisa, thank you for being there. Just screaming at him from the couch. But Dad, thank you, but you're very loud.
She's in her PJs. Yeah.
Obviously was asleep. Thank you for being such a good student.
There's only one kid we bother yelling at.
Yeah. So Bart sees this like, oh shit, like I just have carte blanche now to do whatever I want. So this involves him and Milhouse planning a scheme where it's a Saturday. Skinner's in his backyard, just sitting back, enjoying his hummingbirds.
Yeah.
And I think it's out of like maybe out of the first Godfather, we just see the barrels of, in this case, squirt guns poking out.
Yeah.
And they light him up with, it turns out to be sugar water so that the goddamn hummingbirds turn against him. Like, oh no, their little tongues are like knives.
Yeah, when he shouts, their tongues are like tiny knives.
Then he immediately knows what happened. He starts chasing after them. But he says something like, it's Saturday. I'm not a teacher right now. I can legally spank your bare bottom.
What a sentence to yell at someone else's children. Yeah.
So chases them. They eventually just kind of go through like a weed-filled alleyway where they get down into an old subway station, which Milhouse discovered. We see like a dog drug him down there or something.
Something like that. When I got dragged away from such and such, this is where I woke up.
So they're down there. Of course, again, they got a goddamn abandoned subway system in Springfield.
Whatever you need.
Yep, Springfield's got it. So they fire up an old subway cart or train, which causes a goddamn minor earthquake throughout the whole city of Springfield.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of nothing clematis. There's a word there. Calamitous has happened. Calamitous. There's an extra syllable.
You got there.
We got there. That's a team. It's like, oh shit, that can't happen again. Because like Springfield Elementary has some cracks coming up. Like, oh boy, one more seismic thing like this, and it could be, the school will be done for. And Bart is just kind of feels strangely empty about it because he assumes he's in trouble. Yeah. And those two are on the couch, like, you know what, you do what you're gonna do. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about you.
And he's
anymore.
Like not fulfilled because he's not being punished.
Yeah, he meets with Nelson on the swings. It's
so good, that little therapy session with Nelson.
It's because they're not mad. If they're not mad, have you truly done anything wrong?
Yeah,
they're kind of opening his eyes to that. Like, you're right. So that's we know where the episode's going to go at this point. So like, Nelson's convinced him to do something so bad that they'll have to get mad at him. Lisa is Lisa's just kind of always in the background during this episode, like seeing things that happen. There's a note left on the kitchen table. Homer finds like, oh shit, explaining what's going to happen. He runs down to the old abandoned subway, but not in time to stop Bart. Bart gets the train fired up. There's an old kill switch, but it's corroded, and he struggles with it.
Yeah.
He finally is able to get it to work because he just imagines that Bart is at the end of it. And he's able to choke Bart. He's able to turn that kill switch. The train does some damage. The school is hanging by a thread, but by God, it's saved. Until the flagpole tips over and Springfield Elementary is in shambles.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a little moment there where Edna Krabappel like turns to Lisa with like a wink and a high five, implying that they sabotaged the flagpole to take the school down.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like that was a weird little. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I could see Edna, but not Lisa.
Someone just wants some unemployment. So now, because of this, Bart is in humongous trouble, and Marge and Homer read him the riot act, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are the worst parents ever. Thank you so much." And then he's in his bedroom because he's grounded forever. And Lisa's like, "You sure got in a lot of trouble." Yeah, it's like, it's curious. There was a note like, "Oh, did you leave?" Like, no, I didn't know anything about it. I would have been at school during that time. So it comes out that Bart left the note hoping that Homer would stop him.
Yeah, he's the one who left the note to tip his folks off.
That was a neat angle for this to take. I thought that was interesting.
That like Bart needs to get in trouble or all the wrongdoing is for naught. Yeah.
I got a kick. Yeah. This laughs it wasn't super high on laughs, but I like that story. I like that idea that like, hey, we don't give a shit about anymore.
Fuck it. You want to be a shithead? Go be a shithead.
And he pushes it enough that they finally got to get back involved.
Yeah. Not a lot of laughs, but like it was it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like the hummingbirds attacking Skinner. That's a fun sight gag.
I don't know that I've ever seen a hummingbird in the wild.
To see them normally, you got to have a feeder.
Sure.
That's the thing. Yeah. A lot of people
to attract them in the first place. Yeah, I've never seen one on my way to the RCC Western Works, in between my car and the store.
I'm sure if I get the woods around my parents' house in the foothills, maybe there's some kind of plants that give out enough sweet shit. But yeah, usually it's because people got planters out. But they're such an insane animal. Their heart beats a million times. They consume their 4 times their body weight in like sugar water a day.
Yeah.
How can they venture from one place to another with just hoping that there's sugar water there? At
the end of it, without starving to death.
Yeah, and I know they're an animal that fucking migrates. How the hell do you migrate when you got to eat that much to survive? And they are so fucking small.
Maybe you can eat anything, but you have preferences.
Yeah,
maybe if they came across a fucking clover, they would be fine.
Yeah,
but they would sure prefer Coca-Cola out of your fucking feeder.
Yep, Dr. Pepper. Here you go. This is the good stuff.
You put out Mr. Pibb and they swarm up and attack.
Yeah. Tip it over.
Fuck this.
Yeah, just hearing their wings hum when you're outside, it's like, that's hell of a structural design when they built this thing,
What a critter.
Yeah. They can stop, I think, for a moment, but they don't stop flying for very long. They're always humming along.
Weird. Episode 15, one last one, stealing first base. We're in the car. Homer has a Garmin. It's 2010, so Homer has a Garmin.
For some reason, I still have one in my car. Like at the bottom of my glove box.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Because I had it from back in the day.
Sure, but why do you still have it?
The whole thing is, it's like, you know what? It's not like my glove box is overflowing. Every once in a while, rural North Dakota, your internet might not work. And that thing will always work.
Really?
As long as the satellite's up in that sky, you'll always have it.
Have you updated it recently? I bet you should update that.
Yeah, I updated it probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Huh.
Yep. So it's always there. I always think about it. It's like, well, what's it hurt? It ain't taking up that much room.
Fair. And we've been out in the sticks. We've had Google Maps not give us the right spot. So, okay. All right. Fair enough. You know what? I wanted to come at you a little about like, what the fuck are you doing? But if it's ever come in handy once, that's enough.
Yeah. So you know what? I hope that I never have to use it.
Yeah.
Having a Garmin is like having a gun.
So I was about to say, it's like having a gun in your car.
Let's hope it never sees the light of day.
Sure would be nice to never use this gun that's in the glove compartment. So Homer has a Garmin. We get some jokes about the Garmin taking him off road into a construction site and wrecks the car. But he gets the kids to school anyway. We get into Bart's class. Edna is gone, and that means we have to merge the two fourth grade classes.
Yeah. I like that we're just now finding out there's another fourth grade.
21 seasons in, we find out that there's a second fourth grade class. And because of my upbringing, I can't imagine this. Like a second fourth grade?
Yeah, we always had 3 of each grade. 3 first grade classes, 3 second, 3 third, 3 fourth. So like when you were like mid-August, you would walk up to the school because they'd have a printout and it would show you whose homeroom you were in. So you got to see all the kids, usually about 60 per class, so it'd be 3 groups of 20.
How fucking big is your school then? If you have 3 first grade classrooms, 3 second grade classrooms, so on and so forth.
What's that? 60, 120, 180 with kindergarten is 240 in their grade school.
That's insane.
Big things popping. Some of us grew up in a thriving metropolis, Marlon.
My elementary school had 6 rooms for first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade.
Which is commendable when you only had 4 walls to work with. It's a couple open airs. Kindergartners are the most hardy. They have to go outside.
So does that mean when it was like time for recess and you turn all the kids out?
Be all these kids you don't know. Yeah.
Kids you don't know?
Or older kids, too, like scary older kids, like a giant redheaded kid that's 2 feet taller than everyone. Like, has anyone vetted this kid? Has he got shots? We don't know. Like,
I mean, we had that because like they'd cut everyone loose and, K through 6 are all out on the playground together.
Yeah.
But you knew
that's
who
not
all those
cool.
kids were.
6th graders have boners. They shouldn't be around kindergartners. Like,
well, it's not like they're fucking grinding up against
they could have if they wanted to. That you got to remove the option.
You could say that about anyone today out in the wild.
They won't let a grown man out on the playground when there's kindergarten. Go try it. They will tackle you. It's for science.
No, I'm trying to prove a point about a podcast.
I bet you are, you fucking prick.
Yes, I have an erection, but it's medically induced. It's for science.
Yeah, it'd be.
I don't think I'm allowed back in that school.
Because it would be weird as you progressed through school. Like, there would be those random kids that just by coincidence, just mathematically, you would never end up in their homeroom, even though you got a 1 out of 3 shot every year. You know what I mean? Like, so just be, holy shit, in the 5th grade, I'm finally in this random girls class after all these years, Like,
that's unbelievable. Yeah. That's so crazy to me.
Or like your friends were often you knew a friendship was solid as a rock if you were still friends the next year, even though you weren't in the same homeroom. Because there'd be kids, you'd be their buddy, you'd play together every day, and then next year you're not in the same classroom anymore. So
you only see them at recess and lunch.
Yeah, and lunch was pretty heavily regimented at that age. You weren't allowed to choose where you sat. It's like all of you sit right there because they want to cut the horseplay now.
Yeah, sure. Yep. I am blown away at this.
I think it's wild. If you grow up in a normal city, there are multiple grade schools. So there are kids, you could have a kid with the same birthday as you that goes to a school on the other side of town you've never seen. That baffles me.
Yeah, you're both class of whatever. Yeah. You're the same age but don't know each other. Yeah. Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Like, how many kids in your school weren't you related to? 4 or 5?
If that. Yeah. Everybody's related. That's why everybody dates in other towns.
Everyone's got one big eye in the middle of their head. They should just put this whole town down.
Right where the nose should be. It pushed everything else aside. It's the size of a fucking side salad plate.
Completely blind. It's just for show.
Oh, God. What a fucking life. So we're going to merge the 2 4th grades because Edna is gone. Meanwhile, in Lisa's class, she gets an F on a test, which has her shook pretty hard.
Yeah.
She's so certain she's dreaming that she dives off her desk and just face plants into the floor. Bart meets this girl, Nikki, who's kind of like an alt girl. She's got like, tights and a skirt and a black Hello Kitty shirt. Like, she's cool.
Did you tell who she was voiced by?
I did, actually. Sarah Silverman.
Okay. Yep. A couple times that crossed my mind. That could be Sarah Silverman. Okay.
And this would have been, I think, a roundabout, if maybe slightly after her role in Wreck-It Ralph, which was a big enough movie that she could maybe have some voice actor clout around this time.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was a big movie.
That's a good movie.
I've heard it's very good.
It's very good. So Bart meets Nikki, clearly likes Nikki, or at least at first is like trying to chat her up, but she's cold. She got no time for it.
Yeah.
Back in Lisa's class, she is more popular than ever because she's human. She's
relatable.
Failed a test, everybody. And this ends pretty immediately when Ms. Hoover comes over and Lisa actually got an A+++.
Yeah, 3 pluses.
She mistook her test with Ralphie's test.
Ralphie tried to cheat, but just wrote her name down and just used his Ralphie answers.
I cheated on the Lisa part, but gave the Ralphie answers. God damn it, Ralph. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't mean to jump back episodes, but the Lisa where she's doing her family tree presentation, before it's her turn, it's Ralphie's, and he's on stage just blabbering some insane nonsense. And then when it's over, there's a smattering of applause and Skinner comes out. Thank you, Ralphie. That was your best one yet. That madness he was saying was the best he's ever done.
Yeah. God damn it, Ralph.
Oh, good boy. He's a good boy.
Bart goes to Abe for girl advice, and Abe, who's from a different time, tells him what he ought to do is steal a kiss.
Yeah.
Not a thing you should do.
When it's first suggested, hey, you should see what Grandpa has to say. He's holding a banana. What's he say? Give up the goods, you yellow devil.
Insane.
He doesn't have the grip strength to peel
open a banana. Give me the goods, you yellow devil. So funny.
Oh, aging is cruel.
Yeah. So Abe tells him, just steal a kiss and you'll know if she likes you. So Bart does. Because they're both like skateboarders. There's this long, elaborate scene of them doing cool skateboard tricks. And then they sit at the top of the slide and Bart steals a kiss and Nikki is not into it.
No.
Not at all. And he just sadly coasts down the slide on his skateboard, which is fun. Homer and Marge get called into the office because Nikki's parents are there and they're both lawyers and they're pissed and are threatening to sue the school and the Simpsons, which leads to them like putting into effect all these rules about no touching, no kissing, no, like they lock down on all that shit. And it's at this point, I think it's Bart and Homer go to the movie theater in order to like lift Bart's spirits or something.
Yeah, just some father-son time. Yeah.
And this is an insane reference. They do fucking Koyaanisqatsi, but with Itchy and Scratchy.
Who was this for?
I have.
And it goes on for a while.
It goes on for so long.
And it's in 3D.
Yep.
Yeah.
Koyaanisqatsi in 3D, and it's Itchy and Scratchy. It's funny because it's like if you've seen that movie, like you at least recognize what they're going for with the fucking music and shit. You ever seen that?
No, I
haven't.
I had to look it up though because I was like, this has to be something.
You should watch that.
What country is it from?
This one, I think.
Is it really?
I think so.
Oh, I assumed just from the feel of it, I assumed it was foreign.
Yeah, no, I think it's a Hopi Indian word.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think the word is, I think it means. It's the subtitle of the film, like a life falling apart or a life adrift or something like that is what it means. But yeah, it's just Philip Glass's score over like still images and short clips of like pollution and shit.
Really?
It's bonkers.
And the shit that happens to that poor cat. Jesus, it goes for it.
Yeah, this is the most obscure reference The Simpsons have ever made that I still got.
Yeah.
You know, where I was like, holy shit, you guys, really? This is fucking nuts. Lisa goes on to her organic gardening blog that she runs to talk about, you know, how she feels about the fact that they don't like her because she's smart. Because she, after finding out that she got an A+++, she's cast aside again pretty immediately.
Yeah.
And so she puts her thoughts onto the internet there, and there's someone who gives a comment about keep your chin up or whatever. And that comes back later. The school puts on a sketch about Bart's behavior with Willie playing Nikki and Skinner playing Bart, and they kiss and everybody laughs at them, and then it goes all fucking day. Those two kissing and
they
canoodling.
can keep this up all day and night.
If you keep laughing, they'll keep kissing. And you get like the sun setting and everything.
And they're like, at the end, like they're both exhausted, and like one of them's like cradling the other.
Yeah. And Willie's like petting Skinner's arm, like that's all they've got left. So we put on this whole performance, and then Nikki pops out of Bart's locker and kisses him, and Bart is confused.
Yeah.
Bart doesn't know what's going on. In the meantime, fucking Marine, is it Marine 1? Is that the helicopter?
Oh, yeah.
That the president rides in? The helicopter comes down, and Michelle Obama pops out and gives a speech about how overachieving is good, and
she was an overachiever.
Yep, and it's good to be smart, and hey, you shouldn't pick on people if they're smart because they're going to run the world just like me. And Lisa, like she calls out Lisa in particular, and then gets back on the helicopter. Like, okay, Lisa.
Pretty big getting a standing first lady, you know, like.
I mean, it wasn't her.
Yeah.
It's
wasn't it?
No, it's not voiced by Michelle Obama.
Really? Shit.
No. It's, to be fair, it's still a pretty decent get. I had to look it up because I was like, there's no way they got Michelle Obama in 2010 for this.
Yeah.
But it's Angela Bassett.
Oh, really?
So, like, it's still a good get. So, yeah. And this is a weird scene. She's just like, no, it's actually good. Be nice to Lisa, and leaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
rips the door off with her own hands.
with her arms. Yeah. Nikki is crazy.
Yep.
Giving Bart a lot of mixed signals, like a lot of like, I love you and get the fuck away from me. And you see, Nikki's kind of out of her mind. Bart falls off the roof of the school and is laying there all fucking laid out. Skinner's like, somebody needs to give him mouth to mouth, but Skinner and Chalmers won't let anyone do it because, like, no, then we're gonna get sued because we have this no touching, no smooching policy. And then Nikki comes flying in and gives Bart mouth to mouth, and he wakes up and is fine. And after a long montage of famous movie kisses,
but they curated that because like there's like some like the more famous ones like Here to Eternity, where on the side on that beach and shit.
Gone with the Wind is in there.
Alien 3 with like the alien pecking her on the cheek. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
there was some good ones.
It was a fun little list.
Yeah.
And then so Bart and Nikki are talking about how like I don't understand you at all, but thanks, okay. And she's like, yeah, whatever, I hate you. And then comes running back and smooches him on the cheek and then runs away, and then you get credits.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking lunatic behavior is what that is. It's fucking crazy.
They need to get that kid out of the public school system.
I thought I liked the character design, like the animation, the way they chose to draw Nikki to be like an alt bad girl.
Especially for this era.
Yeah, like, totally. I know exactly who that is.
More emo than punk, probably.
Yeah. Like skirt over tights is a specific look.
Yeah.
Of that era,
the
for
skateboard
that type
scene
of girl
was like well choreographed.
Yeah, big Avril Lavigne fan, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So not my favorite of the batch, but it was fine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, none of these episodes really slapped me around. They were so good, but there were Better than 1 through 5.
Yeah, totally
Not
fine.
a whole lot, but better.
Not a lot jumped out a ton. I like the curling one.
Yep.
You ever curl? There's curling here in
Yeah,
town.
never have.
Maybe we should be a curling team.
Did you know that curling is eventually going to end? That there's a certain kind of stone they use, and apparently that's a very vital part of it. It comes from an island in Scotland, and that stone is running out. It's a tiny little speck of an island.
That rock is going to go extinct.
Yep. Isn't that fucking fascinating?
They'll synthesize it.
Yeah.
Like curling won't end. You can synthesize anything.
Ain't the same.
Synthetic basketballs, like they'll figure it out.
The curlers will know.
One day they'll just be like, this is what a curling stone is now.
Yep. And I want, because I've read, Sports Illustrated did a big write up on it, and they're like, no, once it's gone, I'm gone. It's like, no shit. Like, I like that.
That's
why
the
is the
hill
stone,
to die on?
Yeah, why is the stone so important? I wonder.
No idea.
So that means openings in the world of curling.
I don't understand the physics. Like I get, because it's like shuffleboard. It's ice shuffleboard with a bigger puck, but I don't understand the sweeping. Does the sweeping make it go faster or slower?
I want to think that you can do both. You can speed them up, slow them down, or also maybe alter their direction somehow.
Yeah, I get that. Like you sweep left or right to kind of make a path for it. I can kind of understand that, but it's the speed, because it's like, because the ice is already smooth. You would think that brushing it, especially like think of a brush, it has bristles, would make it rougher and slow it down. But how would it ever speed it up? I don't understand.
I think the ice probably isn't perfectly smooth, and brushing it does smooth it down some. If you want to slow it down, you brush into the path and push just fragments of ice, a little bit of ice that you're breaking up with your fucking steel wool brush, But I would assume that's how it works. But hey, if you're a curling expert, please contact us. Let us know where we fucked up.
I should ask a buddy of mine. He was in since we have a curling arena or whatever you want to call it here in town, he was part of like a beer league curling league, the way you join a bowling league or a softball league. He did curling for a few years.
I like shuffleboard. I
love shuffleboard.
I don't mind being in the cold. I don't mind being on a skating rink.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Fucking precious few bars in this town have a shuffleboard, and that's a crime.
That's went away. Yep. I can think of one, but it's not a bar either of us want to go to.
I can think of a couple. There's a couple that I don't mind going into.
Okay.
Yeah. They're around.
Throw that salt around, get that thing all...
Yep, get your ID out and scoop the salt up out of the ditches and throw it up on there. There was a time in my life I was a pretty decent shuffleboard player.
Thinking Olympic level?
Not quite.
You needed to meet your Mrs. Skinner and Seymour.
Exactly. Yep. I just needed the right scout to find me is all.
See that innate talent.
Slinging them shuffleboards.
Your little pucks. You bring your own. You don't trust the bar's beat up pucks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to use the public pucks. Gross. Got a little mahogany case that you open up like a watch
with
case.
Like 4 slots for each of them, and velvet lined.
I wish I could live that life.
I believe it.
It's a hell of a case if you bring your own curling stones.
Yeah.
Just fuck, this is so fucking heavy.
Got it in a wheelbarrow.
You want to watch 5 more next week?
I think I'm gonna.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna. Mark it down. I'm watching The Simpsons.
I appreciate your team player attitude, your go-get-emness.
I was almost done. I was like, you know what? I think I can wing it.
All right.
Here we are. We're going to watch them.
Let's wing it. Yeah. Let's do 16 to 20 for next week.
I'll be here.
Yeah, as will I. I live here, so
you will be.
I'll be here.
You're contractually obligated.
In the meantime, you can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. 16 to 20 of season 21 is your assignment for next week, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.